Welcome to Top Tier Talk. Stay tuned for insightful talks with top minds.
Hi Ian, how are you?
Very well. Good to see you again.
Great. So I know you are a pioneer in giving coaching to the IT services companies for their businesses. So to start with, if you can just say about yourself, it would be great.
Okay. So I'm originally an IT services business owner. I started out about 30 years ago now. Originally from South Africa, then I went to the UK and I started working for Lloyd's. And then from there, basically, I came to Australia and started my own IT services company. Also, on top of that, it was an SAP services type organization. We focused on analytics, which is my background and my love to this day still. Going through those sort of stepping stones, we're start off with 5 people in the company, then it's 10, then it's up to 115 people.
115? Wow.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of people to manage in the services environment. And going through all those sort of levels, there are different breakthrough levels that you've got to go through. We had a lot of coaching ourselves in that process, and eventually, once we solved out, I ended up working, what I'm going to do next. So I got onto a few boards, found it pretty boring, and then I decided, why not, help people out in a different way, and that was to really coach consultancy firms.
Okay, great. So I think then you must be knowing the small and medium, or those who are coming into bootstrap stage. Might be you are helping a lot, right? So what would be your advice to them for doing how they will generate the more customer for these IT services companies?
When you actually go to market with your first couple of offerings, get a foundation couple of clients, consider your service as a product. Okay. So a lot of people, say, look, I do Microsoft services, or I do cybersecurity, whatever it is. But that's not really solving the problem for what the client wants to see. The client wants to solve a certain problem. So you've got to understand you might have to package a bit of services, different types of services together to solve that one
particular problem.
Yeah. So a lot of people say, I'm a Microsoft person, I can solve everything with Microsoft. Which is probably true. There's a tool for everything in the Microsoft tool bag.
No harm, but then the other party or the client may not understand you. When you say that I know Microsoft, I know Oracle, I know IBM, everything I know, I think that's why he lost, right? If you go and say that I'm doing these things and very particularly, okay, I am Microsoft Dynamics specialist, or I'm Power BI specialist, or Azure specialist, then I hope they connect well. Now, just as I said from the beginning, that people struggle, those who are in the small and medium-sized company. So, what are the steps in the starting from the marketing till the sales closing? If you can explain a bit, which would be obviously everybody knows in their way, but you can.
So when I look at an IT services firm, there are 9 levers you can push, or keys, if you want to say.
Okay.
Marketing is a separate key. Sales is a key. Then you've got shareholder value. You've got all these other keys. You can go to my sort of website and you can get some downloads and all that stuff from there. But if you look at marketing and sales, the biggest challenge between marketing and sales is it's 2 different types of roles, even in a small business. If you're a 1-man or 2-man business, you've got to think about it separately. Okay. End result is dollar. Value after you deliver a service. Okay. But at the end of the day, you've got to think about marketing as a marketing person does. So you've got to be able to put a marketing hat on. And then you've got to think about marketing, and then you've got to actually make sure that you are then thinking about sales, how to close that down, and then how to deliver that from a services perspective. Okay. So, great. If you're a small business, I would think about having a small type of campaign or an effort around that. So what does that mean? I don't want to sound like big or nothing, but you've got to have a process where you get people in through your funnels of information, and you educate them about what you do and what you're trying to solve. And then you've got to take them along a journey to where they ask for a proposal,
Mm-hmm.
and then you actually close the amount at the end. Okay, so the stages are unique for everyone because they've got certain strengths and weaknesses. But on an average,
Mm-hmm.
you're probably looking at 5 to 6 steps in the marketing funnel,
Mm-hmm.
and then probably 4 or 5 steps in the sales funnel, and they're separate.
Okay.
So a lot of confusion when people think of a CRM,
Yeah.
they just think of a sales funnel with 5 or 6 steps to close up, but there's actually a funnel above that.
Yeah. Okay.
And that funnel is really a marketing funnel.
Yeah.
And that there is when people are not ready to buy,
Mm-hmm.
but they know they've got a problem, and you're educating them about that problem over a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Once they're qualified,
Okay.
then they become a sales opportunity. Okay,
Yeah.
then they should go into the sales funnel.
Yeah.
So you've got to start to think that there's 2 different ways,
Mm-hmm.
and how you get people into the marketing funnel,
Mm-hmm.
and how you push them down to the educated to the point where they go, you know what, I understand what you guys are trying to solve, and I have that problem, and you can solve that problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that when it becomes an opportunity, and only then it's at 10% in the sales funnel.
Mostly in product or services,
Mm-hmm.
last part where they say you said like you have given the proposition, you have given the very small chunks of to start with, still that's stuck,
Yes.
or sometimes it's just stuck. How do you overcome that? Because
You've got to ask those right questions.
yeah.
So the questions in that first sales meeting, after the 45 minutes meeting, when you actually have the next session, it's asking, do you have the right budget to solve this problem? Okay?
How do I ask? Like,
You ask them that. That's how you ask them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have money to solve this problem?
Mm-hmm.
Have you got a budget approved and ready to solve this problem?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you ask them.
Okay, sometimes you go straight, right?
Yeah, you've got to go straight, because otherwise what's going to happen is you're going to waste too much time further down the line.
For him and for you also.
Exactly. Well, let's just talk about us. We're running a business.
Yes.
But the question is, you've got to make sure, are they ready to pay to solve this problem?
Yes.
And if they are,
Yeah.
that's big tick. They've got a budget.
Mm-hmm.
Then do they have who's actually going to approve it?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes they don't know who's actually going to approve it.
Mm-hmm.
They might have a budget.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they won't tell you how much it will be. That they won't tell you. But you've got to say who is actually the person to sign it off.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got someone who's going to sign this project off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if they don't know that, it could take 2 to 6 months to find out who's going to have the bandwidth or who's taking responsibility to sign it off.
Yeah.
So it's an approval process
that
you've got to understand.
Yeah.
Okay, then it's the timing process.
Yeah.
Now, so they'll have a budget. Let's say it's 10 million.
Okay.
Okay, argument's sake, doesn't matter if it could be in any currency, but they've got $20 million of problems to solve, and they've only got 10 million. Okay, for this year. Then what they do is they look internally at how many resources they have internally to actually manage and work on the project and solve the problem. And then they only find that they only got 2-3 people available, and they aren't the right people. So you've got to make sure the timing is really, really important. So the budget, approval process, the timing.
So do you think the small and medium companies also need to use some tools to track all those stuff like sales? I think you have one company, maybe IMA or something like that. I heard maybe HubSpot or something like that.
So a lot of the clients, sales has moved on. Okay, the sales is like all things evolve over a period of time. And the big companies out there, if you're using a sales tool, they would be using Salesforce initially. I mean, Salesforce is the leader. It was the first thing on the cloud. Everyone used it and everything else. Mm-hmm. And eventually they had a whole lot of other products out there that were enabling the sales transaction. Okay. And that was a lot to do with the marketing process. The marketing funnel was up. Mm-hmm. And then what actually happened about 4 or 5 years ago, that technology started to make way down to the mid-tier CRMs and the low-tier CRMs, if that makes sense. So the Pipe Drives, the HubSpots, Active Campaigns, all those type of tools in the middle, they started to go, guess what? You can actually start to build on now cheaply other solutions and charge more for our clients to use these solutions. Yeah. Okay, so what's actually happened with the HubSpot was a really good Salesforce, a CRM tool. But then they realized they want to carry on making more money. Yeah. So what they do is they started bolting on new tools, or they started product new development in other areas around marketing.
Okay.
And then they start to charge you for each of those components you need to use.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it becomes really expensive. And that there is very difficult for startups or small IT services firms. Under like 50-man consultancy firms, it's too expensive to use a HubSpot throughout its entire suite of products. It might be easy to use the first part, which is the lead generation for them, is to get them for free and use the sales component. So what we use about 4 years ago, a lot of our clients were having this problem with HubSpot. So we moved on to a product called IMA.
IMA. Okay.
IMA. And IMA is basically the Toyota Corolla of a Ferrari, and is really good and very economical, and it's great to use. It gets you from A to B in the journey. That's the way I look at it.
Okay.
So it does the marketing funnel, and you can create multiple funnels. So if you're a small consultancy firm under $1 million turnover, so you'd be like maybe 4 or 5 people working for you at that stage. Okay. Consultancy firm. If you're at that stage, 2 to 3 of you need to be in that solution. Probably 8 hours a week at least.
Okay.
Right. With marketing functionality, with sales functionality, with all that sort of stuff. You need to be in that solution. The problem is that now in HubSpot they charge you more for 5 users.
Yeah, the numbers are like they restrict in the number, right? 5 users and maybe like how many records you are having.
That's right.
So and let's say you wanted like more than 5,000 customers and you can't do, then it's like you have to pay more.
And in marketing world, 5,000 users is not much. You'll have that from a startup. You'll have that within the first 6 months to a year to do marketing properly. So at some stage, you've got to realize, you can't pay $70,000-$80,000 for a solution, and you're a $5 million business. This is what happens. I can see this all the time. It still doesn't make sense.
So I think I got my answer.
Yeah.
Definitely, you need to have tool.
Yeah, 100%.
Whatever tool you are using, you should use. Otherwise, you will be losing your focus on the marketing and sales activities.
25% revenue loss. If you look if you go out and check out some of the stats worldwide by the benchmarking companies out there, in the sales pipeline, not even IT services, just generic sales pipeline across the board, they would say up to at least 25% of revenues lost every year by not having a fully integrated marketing and sales solution.
But then I just wanted to know, like in your tool, have you used any AI or Gen AI? Because the Gen AI is coming.
It's coming big time.
Big time.
For sure.
Right.
So we have got things like auto dialers. We have got people that phone as AI bots are phoning people and doing things. We have been testing that out in the last 6 months. It's not quite right there at the right quality. Also, in certain countries, there's regulation now happening around AI. So it's becoming quite difficult for generic AI via email, generic AI via phone calls. So we fed our AI with our content, and we've actually got them to phone our prospects who are warm and actually have a conversation. Okay. And it's nearly there. But everything can be integrated into the solution. So if you've got solutions out there that you think you should talk to us about, then yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think we are also building some sort of Gen AI. We are researching though. Yeah. So we wanted to do something around creating automated social post, right? For sure. So that maybe I can bring to you, and if you see that it is helpful to you, definitely you can also take. So I think any last note to the small and medium or bootstrap company for their sales and marketing journey?
I think it's like everything else. You've got to have a bit of a plan.
Okay, plan.
A plan. If you don't have a plan, you'll be a bit of chaos. It doesn't
great. I think it was nice talking to you. Yeah. And whenever I get some more time or you get some more time, we'll have more in-depth discussion. Definitely. Maybe particular topic. Yeah. So, and anybody, my viewer wanted to contact you, right? They can contact through us or they can directly contact.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be definitely putting your LinkedIn details in my post.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much for your time.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for watching Top Tier Talk. Stay tuned for more insightful talks with top minds. See you next time.